Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to your review channel. Yes, we're changing a battery in a 2014 Lexus. Pretty much goes across the board for any car. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Going to show you how to change it out. Let's get to the video.
Hey guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of your review channel. Today we're talking about how to change a battery in a car. So this is a 2014 Lexus RX 350 and the battery is around 3 years old and it's starting to crap out a little bit. So I got a new battery here that I did get at Costco. So basically I'm going to change it. It does have a 36-month warranty, so I'm changing it out right before it dies. Basically the battery is just that the cranking power is not the same. I'm having some issues. So we're going to change the battery. We're going to show you how to do it. So a couple things that you do need. You do need a power source to keep the memory, basically keep the power going through the system so the computer won't lose its memory. That's important, and I'll leave a link down below where you can pick up something like this. This basically just holds the memory, just hook it up to the battery cables as you disconnect it, and that way it keeps the power in the system. Very important. And just some basic tools, metric tools, 10mm socket to handle it, pliers if you need it, and some sandpaper just to clean the terminals. Nothing fancy, and that's it. Alright guys, let's get to it. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Do appreciate it as always. Changing a battery in your car. Real simple, you don't have to go crazy, but you do have to know a couple things. Okay, let's get to it. Okay, so the first thing you have to do is remove this case, this cover here. So this battery compartment does come off here, as you can see. Okay, and it does reveal a small section to get in here. This is just to get a quick jump or something, but to remove the battery, this whole thing should come off. Okay, so I've removed this a couple different times. The clips are broken. I do have to buy some replacement clips. But these clips just pop right off. They're real easy. They look like this, so you can see. So these are replaceable. You can get them online. I'll also leave a link for some clips as well. But this whole thing comes off. So let's just pull this whole thing off and get it out of the way. And that exposes the entire battery, so you can see here clearly. So what we have to do here is just remove the battery right here. So this bolt here will remove this whole hold down cage. Okay, now let's take a look underneath here. And I think there's also a hold down bolt underneath this as well. So there's also a hold down bolt in the back. So let's see if we can try to get it loose and have to move that. There's a little bolt underneath here as well that you have to get in and loosen that bolt up. Once we get that loose, we'll disconnect, we'll hook up our cables to the battery itself so it won't lose power, and then we'll disconnect negative first, and then we'll disconnect the positive afterwards. And that's how you do it. So it's just so you know. So when you remove a battery, remove the negative first, then the positive, and then when you replace the battery, positive goes back on, and then the negative, and that's how that works. Okay, so let's disconnect this and see what we get this. Let us get this battery, at least get this bracket off, and let's see what happens. Okay, so we have our 10mm socket. These are pretty easy to take off. If you find it a little bit hard to get off, just get some 3M or some grease, some oil, and just grease, oil that up if you need to. That's nice. There you go. Nice and loose. You can see that. Now it's making a nice difference. The whole mounting bracket's getting loose, as you can see here. All right, now we have to get underneath the carriage, like I told you back here, and just loosen that up with a 10mm wrench.
So you do have to work with it a little bit to get it loose. So I had to get my hand under there and just, work with it back and forth until the bolt got loose. So once the undercarriage bolt was loose, the outer carriage, the outer part of the battery where the hook is, there's a long hook that goes down, and it just kind of slid right off and popped right off. So that was pretty easy to do. So just work with it, have some patience, take your time, and it will come out. All right, and the hand's in there, get that screw out, and this whole bracket will come right off. All right, and that's the hold down bracket. Just take the whole hold down bracket off, like you see there. Put everything to the side, don't lose anything. Okay, we'll turn on the power. And that is good. Okay, so now we're actually adding power to the system, so that is also, now it's safe to disconnect the battery. Okay, and we do the negative first, like I said. We'll just 10mm wrench and just loosen that up. You have to go crazy. Get a screwdriver and just basically pry it open a little bit, and you can see it just loosens right up. And that's real easy to do. And take off that, so that is off. Okay, put that to the side. And now we'll take off our
are positive, okay? Loosen up positive. Easy enough. A screwdriver to loosen it. I can see here. Loosen that up a little bit, and you can see it's moving. Okay. And we take that off like that. And let's see if we can get the battery out without disrupting anything else. That's good enough. Oh, that's working. Okay, good. Let's lift the battery out.
Okay guys, so as you can see, I'm just popping the battery back into place. We're going to put the positive post on first, like we said, we discussed that in the beginning, and then the negative after that. Tighten them down, not too tight, just cinch them down, not too tight, you don't want to break the terminal, and then put your battery bracket back on, put that back on, and you are good to go, and that's as simple as that. So I appreciate you tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, and check out all my other videos online as well. Alright guys, so I'm just going to wrap this up, put it all back together, and that's it. Alright, and I'll see you at the next review.